sound check? Oh, I don't know if they'll kill the music. Can we do a sound check now, or do we need to wait for the music?
Check the levels or whatever. So I'll just do normal volume when you're ready. When I do the test, I'll leave room to go up for goals, obviously, but yeah, same. So you're in. Okay, good evening everyone and welcome to the Derby in NPL Women's New South Wales Round 9 action from Macquarie Park. Gladesville Ravens versus Northwest Sydney Spirit. So keep going. Okay. For the Ravens, they come into this game just outside the finals places, 6th position. They've won 4 times this season, while for Spirit, only 1 win, blah, 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 blah. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us at the live tab on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. It's NPL Women's New South Wales Derby Day in Macquarie Park, Gladesville Ravens versus Northwest Sydney Spirit. Eric Subihana here on the mic, high on the scaffold above this synthetic field, and absolutely delighted to be calling this one for you. Thanks for joining us. Well, for Gladesville Ravens, they've won 4 times this season, and they're sitting very nicely in 6th place as we head into this round 9 encounter. While for Northwest Sydney Spirit, they're in 10th, and if you look at their results, it's a case of more draws than an IKEA store. 5 draws in their opening 8 games, and only just the 1 win, but it was a very nice win that they had last time out when Spirit won by 2-1 over Bulls FC Academy. If you're perhaps less familiar with these two teams, usual kits for both. The black and white stripes for Gladesville Ravens. Makes sense. While for Northwest Sydney Spirit, it's the traditional representative colours of the old Gladesville Hornsby Soccer Association, the gold jerseys, the black shorts, and the gold socks. So, let's take you through the 2 starting lineups as everyone undergoes these pre-match formalities. Firstly, for the Ravens, in goal, number 22, Romina Baraguer. Then number 3, Annie Dachko. Number 5, Keiko Tanaka. Number 6, the captain, Kimberly Davey. Number 8, Annie Halls. Number 17, Claudia Chalakian. Number 18, Lara Brewis. Number 23, Keisha Allen. Number 26, Brianna Bacchini. Number 33, Patricia Charalambus. And at number 51, Isabella Habuda. While for Spirit, in goal for them, number 41, Katie Offer. And then number 3, Erin Pridmore. Number 7, Kaya Buchanan. Number 11, back from Western Sydney Wanderers duty, Ella Abdulmasi. Number 12, Erin Tavares. Number 13, Morgan Roberts. Number 15, Savannah Murray. Number 16, Kayla Osborne. Number 17, also back from Wanderers duty, Ella Buchanan. Number 18, Natalie Kasha. And number 23, Claire Holder. Spirit, by the way, coached by longtime clubman Tony Candy. And as we see, legendary NPL Women's New South Wales photographer Dan Ullman take a couple of pre-match snaps. Might actually have enough time, firstly, to shout out the 3rd team, the match officials. So, is Alexandra Mackay. The assistant furthest away from us is Mason Griffith. So yes, by the way, well done Dan Ullman. He's very enterprising and has got himself a chair, so right by halfway, so he's in the perfect position to take the action. Ryan Fisher does a scan. And there's the whistle. Away we go. Round 9. Action here at Macquarie Park. So I suppose it's a derby. You could call this the Macquarie Park Melee, or given this ground's now, I'd like to think, famous nickname, given how cold it is, the Arctic Circle. Perhaps you could call it the Arctic Circle Affray as well, or even the Ride Council Rumble. But we're underway. Spirit playing it back to Katie Offer. And there's Tanaka stepping in, breaking it up to Cheryl Anders. There's the touch from Habuda. And an actually interesting point on Bella Habuda. If she gets close enough so I can see the name on her jersey, from memory she got married recently. I might need to start acknowledging that if that's okay, but well, I might not get a chance to get a close look as Habuda's putting Pridmore under pressure. It is cleared, however, by Erin Pridmore over the sideline. As for Ravens, it was a close loss last time out, losing by the odd goal in 5-2. A team, actually another team not too far away from here, Northern Tigers. They lost by 3-2 here on this field, actually. I think from memory they did take the lead through Annie Halls, but it's an excellent second half comeback from Northern Tigers. Well, for Spirit, they also lost last time out. They were away at newly promoted University of New South Wales, and they lost by just a single goal coming just after half-time from Uni's Brazilian star Marcela Santos. But Still a long way to go here, and this is now a chance for Spirit to perhaps learn the lessons from their match against NSW 7 days ago. Pridmore playing it back to Katie Offer. Now that's Kaya Buchanan. First touch back for Al Abdul Masi. Back from Wanderers duty, as I said. The second touch, very much not to the referee's liking, and that's the first free kick of this game. Early Ravens set piece, and if you've ever watched Ravens, you know Tanaka's the set piece specialist. She delivers with the right foot this time. As up, and I think it was Dachko up there trying to use her height. That's a decent strike from Cheryl Lambus. Great technique. That is an extremely awkward height for a volley. She did well to keep it down, but it ends up being a relatively straightforward save for Katie Offer. Now Buccini has one to chase. Roberts, who is very quick, and Spirit know that. So did their opponents. Spirit will try to look to use Roberts' speed as often as possible. That's the throw in. Kasha bounces it off Roberts. There's a foot in there from Annie Halls, I think. And now that's Ella Buchanan. As I said, part of the Western Sydney Wanderers duo that have come back to Spirit. And Buchanan, a great story, who I believe was training with the Wanderers at the start of the A-League women's season, but she did well enough in those training sessions to earn a contract later in the year, and actually also scored her first goal in the A-League women competition a month or so ago. Now, great first touch from Claire Holder, past, I think, Davey. It's Keisha Allen saving the day, though, for the Ravens. Switch towards, I think that's Tavares, and going back to Kasha. Morgan Roberts, despite playing out wide, has been kind of the main goal threat for Spirit in these last couple of years. Also, she has bounced back very well from an ACL injury I believe she suffered in the 2021 season. So despite the speeds of playing out wide, she would, at least if you look at the stats, be the most likely route to goal. There's Katie Offer playing it to Savannah Murray, then back to Pridmore, and back to the keeper it goes. Robert now leading a Spirit, the Spirit Golden Boot race for this season with 4 goals after 8 games. A very healthy tally. And by the way, the Ravens equivalent of that, if that makes sense, Isabella Habuda is leading Ravens for this 2024 season with 5 goals. And just an interesting coincidence, Isabella Habuda is also someone who has played in A-League Women for Western Sydney Wanderers. There's Romina Partaguera, very experienced keeper, actually playing against a whole club. And I think she was excellent last season, helping Ravens settle in, because Ravens were the newly promoted side at the end of, or they were the promoted team from League One Women's at the end of the 2022 season. They won the club championship. Now Ravens trying to settle in even more to life as an NPL Women's New South Wales club. And they're doing well. They're doing well in the top tier. As I said earlier, 6th place after 8 games, just outside the finals places. It's a 14 final series, as it has been for the past few seasons, I think. Tanaka to deliver, and Offer is just strides off the line. It's a comfortable catch. Now, it's the foot in there from Chalakian. Back to Tanaka. Now Annie Halls. So first overlapping opportunity, maybe, for Buccini. Halls again. Now, nice turn from Cheryl Lambus, looking for Chalakian. And Cheryl Lambus again, but it's the foot in there. I think that's Buchanan. Oh, no, sorry, my apologies. That's Kayla Osborne. And a good use of the body. It's exactly what you want from your central midfielders, and that will be a free kick to Spirit. Now, we've already had a couple of games in this round 9 of NPL Women's New South Wales, and how many goals have we had? Yes, we've had lots of them. Actually, both ended up as 5-2 wins to the home side. So last night at North Turramurra Recreation Area, it was actually a great call, by the way, as always, from that game from the People's Champion Nicholas Kutniak, but it was Northern Tigers 5, Bulls FC Academy 2. And then earlier, 2 p.m, another goal fest at Leichhardt Oval, RPL Leichhardt 5, Illawarra Stingrays 2. And if you're an avid watcher of NPL New South Wales socials, you may have already seen they've clipped up a goal from that game. Incredible 40-yard lob from former Spirit junior Ashley Crofts, now playing for RPL Leichhardt. That certainly is well worth seeing, but that is how quickly the Football New South Wales media team work. That clip was up, I think, just before the game, that RPS Stingrays game finished. So well done, as always, to our fearless leader, Mark Stavroulakis, the Golden Greek. Been doing a great job with, as the Football New South Wales media manager for almost 15 years. Murray restarts with the throw, right in front of that scoreboard. Scoreboard is very helpful, by the way, for us commentators, in case you forget to stop watching your phone when the game starts. At least for once I didn't forget that. As Kasha, I think perhaps wanting more movement in front of her, goes back to offer, and then Buchanan offers, and now Pridmore offering the way out for Spirit. Pridmore looking to hit the run of Abdul Masi, and is she quick enough to keep it in? Not quite. The ball just runs away from her, actually. And Abdul Masi, of course, stands out not just for her technique. Abdul Masi, well known in the futsal scene when she, as a very young person, starring for SD Raiders, doesn't just stand out for that, but I think commentators for player identification purposes love it when a couple of players wear long sleeves, and yes, there's Ella wearing her customary long sleeves. That'll help us pick her out on the far side of the field as it's played back to Murray. Good turn from Tavares towards Holder, and options to her left. One of them is Abdul Masi, so there's the lunge. And it was from Lara Brewis. Abdul Masi retrieves and rides the challenge. And trying to protect the ball, she looks for options. Back to Buchanan, who you're actually, Kai Buchanan, interesting one, is a defender, but will step into midfield at every opportunity for Spirit. Holder trying to win the header, and that's Davey away, and the Ravens can step out. So, yes, Kai Buchanan, kind of both a defender and a midfielder. And if you watch her play, she'll slot in. And this is the case, been the case all season for the Spirit women's team. Buchanan plays alongside Erin Pridmore in central defence when Spirit don't have the ball, but as soon as they secure the ball, you'll see Kai Buchanan stepping forward to help Spirit in that area of the pitch. It's an interesting tactic. It's one really made famous by the Spirit men's team and by their legendary head coach David Perkovich. Now the women's team are trying it. As is the long-range strike, and it's off the bar, and who's going to finish? Well, no one will, because Romina Patagira, who got up quickly, that's why you teach goalkeepers to get up as soon as they've tried to make a save, because there was a couple of Spirit players running in. Patagira was up in a flash and prevented the tap-in. She might even, to be fair, have gotten a touch on that free kick from Claire Holder. But now back the other way. That was a great run from Piccini, all the way out from the back. She nearly threaded it through to the player. I think that was Habuda. Now, another test for Patagira, and, well, you don't often see a goalkeeper shepherded out for a goal kick, but she's done that well. And protected the ball. And clearly she's learned something from watching her central defenders play. To Halls, and Halls turns away from the pressure. And that was for Tavares pressing. Now they'll try the far side. It's played on. Cheryl Ambers. Tracked by Ella Buchanan. And it's an uncharacteristically loose pass from Keiko Tanaka. You will have noticed she played a couple of set pieces with her right foot early on, but Keiko Tanaka, one of those rare players who can hit set pieces with both feet. I think the plan last year was to have her hitting outswinging corners, so taking corners from the left side, going with the left foot, and then the opposite from the right side. We'll see what they do with corners this time around, but certainly a rare ability. Keiko Tanaka, by the way, another former Spirit player, so she's another one of the Ravens playing against her old club. Now, back to Kaya Buchanan. Now, Murray. She's got the run from Osborne ahead of her. Murray looks to cut inside. And then, oh, that's a heavy touch from Ella Buchanan. It's allowed Habuda in. Still haven't been able to figure out what surname is on the back of her jersey. But we'll go with Isabella Habuda for now, as that's what's in dribble. And anyway, the first corner of the game goes the way of Ravens. And, yep, there it is right on cue. Keiko Tanaka across to take it. Charalambus also providing the short option. So, look. Annie Dash goes quite tall, so is Keisha Allen. They're up from the back. Potential target, Spirit, have left the speedster Morgan Roberts up for any potential counterattacks. Tanaka, there we go, left foot, and she drills it into the goal mouth and at the back post. It was Lara Brewis who timed her run very nicely. It was deflected behind. That was so, how did it not get a touch and go in? Tanaka zinged that all the way through the 6-yard box. Brewis couldn't convert, but it will be a second corner for the Ravens. Now, there we go. Tanaka with the right foot once again. It's going to be an in-swinger. And first touch off the Ravens, so Spirit have enough bodies in the way. Now here's the potential to use Morgan Roberts' speed if she times the run correctly. And did she? No. Flags up from Alexandra Mackay. I thought so. So Kayla Osborne just, I think, a half step or a half second behind in playing that pass. And to be fair, good sweeper keeper work from Paragera in any case. I don't think Roberts would have got to that ball, even if she was onside. Ball out to the far side as Murray goes to close down. Now that ball swept up by Pridmore, but attacking, throwing, throw-in, coming up for the Ravens as we're about at the quarter-hour mark. And if you've just joined us, it's Eric Subiano here for the Football New South Wales YouTube page. Currently 0-0 in the derby here, the women's derby between Gladesville Ravens and Northwest Sydney Spirit. As ball across the box, and then I think that's it might be hooked up into the sky, I think, by Osborne. The second ball breaks for Kasha, and she goes for distance, but this will be easy for Keisha Allen to plan her next move. Tanaka, backwards. That's a strong tackle from Buchanan as the two number 17s go head-to-head. Paragire, well, I think perhaps not happy with the bouncing back pass there. Shout out to Dean, spectator in the crowd. One of my friends had a nice chat to him pre-game. And Dean also showed a nice set of hands. Caught that very cleanly. And he's returned the ball to play so he can get on with it. I wonder if FX Bikes might be able to hear Tony Candy, Spirit coach, giving out the instructions. So it was an interesting one. Tony Candy, a long-time clubman, as I said earlier, but his first year in the role as the Spirit women's first-grade head coach. And previously he'd be an assistant to the men's team, working under David Perkovich. Of course, very big shoes to fill because the coach last year, the coach they call the Maltese mastermind, Tiana Gauchi, did a wonderful job taking Spirit to the finals. And she was rewarded for that by getting an A-League women's assistant coaching gig at Perth Glory. There you go. It's good to see. We often talk about NPL Women's New South Wales being the pathway for players to get to the National League. We can't forget it's also the pathway potentially for coaches. As that's Osborne and Tanaka. That's brilliant. She's fought for it. And, well, Rowan Fisher sees nothing wrong with that. As now Kasha might be under pressure. Awkward, facing her own goal. And she needs a few touches. But she eventually clears it over the sidelines. Now it's Bacchini. Good long throw on her as well. That could be something the Ravens could use to their advantage. And Bacchini looking to recycle. Now as he delivers towards Habuda. And Pridmore has defended well on the edge of her own box. Back they go to Offer. Across to Murray. I think. Well, it's the Ravens try to squeeze the space. It's a good turn from Osborne, but they haven't gotten out just yet. Here's Buchanan sidestepping. Sidestepping a player inside her own box. I'll tell you what, football ain't like it used to be. Central defenders, all they used to do was clear it if anyone got anywhere near them, but playing out from the back, so important now. Of course, all these synthetic pitches in our competition definitely help with that. Ella Buchanan. Now, that's anticipated well, but also trying to anticipate is Kaya Buchanan. And we'll go on as for keeping one eye on Claudia Chalakin to see if she's okay. But now it's Tavares. And Tavares gave Puccini a chance with that pass. And then that's been a free kick. And well, these two teams share this ground, but that noise is at the moment feeling very much like a Ravens home game. Someone say watch the replay. Mate, I don't get a replay. What chance do the rest of you have? No. I'd love a second screen, but anyway. Anyway, Claire Holder to deliver. And, well, you'd think she wouldn't go direct for goal, like she did with the last one, the free kick which I think Marina Paragira tipped onto the crossbar. Ravens setting a very high line, so Paragira, she'll look to command area and come out for anything that's anywhere near her. Holder delivers, hits the two-person wall. Now Cheryl Ambus looking to lead a counter-attack, so Spirit is scrambling. Osborne was quick enough to get back. But one of my favorite sayings, an attacking set piece is an opportunity for both teams to score. And that Spirit set piece could have led to a Ravens opportunity. Buchanan sliding in. That's a battle that's developing very nicely between Ella Buchanan and Tanaka. Two players at the opposite ends of the experience spectrum, but so two very high quality players. I love a good central midfield battle. That's worth keeping an eye on. Now up it goes. And that's Davey looking to cushion it for a teammate. There it goes. Kai Buchanan. Now Kasha looking to dink it and well, pass it down the line. It's quite tricky. At least Kasha, perhaps inadvertently, has kept that in play, so that'll allow Spirit to step up. Now, I do love going around the grounds and giving score updates. I did, of course, talk about the two earlier games in this round. Northern Tigers 5, Bulls FC Academy 2, and RPL Leichhardt 5, Illawarra Stingrays too, as Brianna Bacchini prepares another long throw. Big launch there, again into the box. Spirit strong enough in the air, but might break for Halls. Has a decent long-range shot on her. Perhaps Ella Buchanan knew that, because Buchanan was out in a flash. And now, quick feet from Claire Holder. And Holder, well, passed it behind Roberts. And then that's come off the ref. Surely that's come... Okay, don't mind me. We'll go on with Chalakin. Good to see she's back on her feet. Now she'll go from way out and didn't quite get the bend she wanted. It went a little bit on the outside of the foot instead of curling back in, but still a decent try, by the way, just like Halls. In fact, that Ravens central midfield, Halls, Tanaka, and Chalakin, they can all ping one in from distance. I remember, I think, in fact, well, this is not the happiest memory for the Ravens, but it's at least good to know she's got this ability now. Obviously, commentator for a Sapphire Cup semi-final last year between Northern Tigers and Gladesville Ravens. Chalakin at the time playing for the Tigers. And I think that was the game where she scored 2 bangers, one with the left foot and one with the right foot. You don't often see that, someone using both of their feet to score from outside of the box in the same game. The Ravens didn't feel too good about it that cold night, but now they know they have Chalakin on their side. Kai Buchanan, again stepping into midfield. And now Murray in front of that scoreboard. Midway through the first half, we are still goalless. In the Macquarie Park melee, Gladesville Ravens 0, Northwest Sydney Spirit 0. Good in and away from Abdul Masi. Can she cut it back? Here's Claire Holder. Didn't quite get the contact right. And it's cleared. And Abdul Masi starting to cook on that far side. A lovely move to create space. And she knows how dangerous a cutback can be. She nearly found Claire Holder. By the way, speaking of going around the grounds, yes, of course, we'll try perhaps later on. I do have my laptop with me to view other streams on the Football New South Wales YouTube page, but I only trust the battery for 45 minutes, so I might try and multitask in the second half. But yeah, there are 3 games kicking off at 5 p.m, so 10 minutes before this scheduled kickoff time of 5:10. They were top of the table Manly Uniteds. The long trip up the motorway to face Emerging Jets at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. They also have a man who has coached both of these teams. MacArthur Rams coach Stephen Peters. What a good-looking man he is, by the way. But it's MacArthur Rams versus the University of New South Wales at Linwood Park. And the other 5 p.m. game is a Sydney Olympic versus Blackcount Spartans from Petermore Field, called by a great commentator, William Constantinidis. So perhaps I'll go around the grounds later on to see what's happening in those games. So it might be given away, and Cheryl Ambus towards Habuda. Could be the chance. Here's Habuda, and she scored the lovely toe poke with the outside of her boot. That's the 6th goal of the season for Isabella Habuda. Now the Ravens are in front. A massive cheer from the Ravens fans to our right. It was given away. Cheryl Ambus, a good goal threat herself. This time she was the provider. The pass was pinpoint, and Isabella Habuda kept her cool with Katie Offer rushing towards her. Gladesville Ravens 1, Northwest City Spirit 0. Now there. Oftentimes, the opening goal, especially if it's in the first half, can really spice up a game. This derby is something that I don't think needs spicing up, to be honest, but we might get more heat anyway, as Spirit now have to chase the game. Now, ref rules he got the ball. The Ravens fan disagree, but of course they would. Well, the card now shown to the Raven, shown to someone on the Ravens technical area. I think they call that, in the laws of the game, dissent by word of action. Word or action. Ravens now leading the yellow card count for tonight, but they shouldn't care too much because they're also leading the goal count. And by the way, if you're keeping tabs of when I mentioned the other NPL Women's New South Wales games this round, you will notice that there's this game, and I only mentioned 5 others. Well, there was a postponement for round 9 because Football New South Wales Institute have players involved in the Junior Matilda squad who are off. Actually, from memory, they're off tomorrow. They're currently in a training camp in North Queensland before they fly out to Indonesia tomorrow for the AFC Under-17 Women's Asian Cup. So the players are available. Football New South Wales Institute successful in obtaining a postponement, and that game, which is against Sydney University at the Sydney University football ground, that has been rescheduled to Wednesday the 19th of June. So we'll get a WOSO Wednesday in a couple of months' time. Congratulations to all the players, by the way, who made that squad. There's, of course, Institute mainly, and I think of players like Michaela Duong, who's been caught the eye for in the Institute midfield, but also Manly United winger Sienna Dale, one of the other players from this competition, who will be off to Indonesia, by the way. Actually, Australia are playing all their group stage games in Bali, and I bet that was a much sought after ticket for the players, the parents, any kind of relatives, any friends that wanted to go as well. If there's one thing all Australians agree on, it's we love a trip to Bali. I hope all the Junior Matildas well-wishers enjoy their stay in Indonesia for the AFC Under-17 Women's Championships, as that's cleared sideways by Davey and then not kept in. Now Tanaka. And Tanaka towards the goal scorer, Habuda. As the ball. And I think they were looking for Cheryl Ambers, who made the run from deep. It was cleaned up by Kaya Buchanan. The Ravens still have it. Now towards Bacchini. And if she's quick enough, it just skipped away from her. That's a bit unlucky from the Ravens number 26. Because they'd actually worked the space well for Bacchini to start overlapping. I'm going around the grounds to the thing to finally mention the thing I wanted to talk about, and shout out as always to legendary Football New South Wales reporter Justin Davies, and who's very familiar with Gladesville Ravens from their time in League One Women's, as that is out of reach for Cheryl Ambers, but he's given me some scores from the New South Wales Second Division. So in League One Women's, SD Raiders defeated Sutherland Strikers by 2-0. SD Raiders doing very well. From memory, I think they're one of the undefeated teams. So Southeast Phoenix defeated Interlions by 3-1. Mount Druitt Town Rangers defeated Camden Tigers by 3-1. So in League One Women's, it's been a bad day for teams named after cats. As Kasha, now Ella Buchanan, and she sees Savannah Murray as the open option, but then passes a little bit off target. Now, as that's charged down by Tanaka, now looking for Habuda. Primmore's in the way. Now Ella Buchanan playing it forward. So, by the way, I did notice there was I think there were some technical issues right at the start of the broadcast. Apologies if you were affected by that in terms of not hearing the sound, because it was happening around about the time I was giving the lineups. So I might just do that again, just for anyone who missed that. When, of course, in a break. Not now. I need a break and play to do that. Laid off. Now it's drilled low into the middle. Doesn't beat the first player. Now Tanaka might go for goal. It's off the inside of the post. And then Ravens trying to keep it alive. And Kai Buchanan looking to play out, but it's tough all work for Spirit at the moment. And Keiko Tanaka millimeters away from scoring a contender for goal of the season. It's a crossing position for most people. Tanaka decided to go for goal directly. The keeper was well beaten, and the post has come to Spirit's rescue. And now, well, Roberts, he's going to make Paragira play at it, and it's cleared. It's going to go over the sideline. By the way, in case you missed the lineups, might as well go at least through the starting lineups again, or the Ravens. In goal, number 22, Romina Paragira. And number 3, Annie Dachko. Number 5, Keiko Tanaka. Number 6, Kimberly Davey, the captain. Number 8, Annie Halls. Number 17, Claudia Chalakian. Number 18, Lara Brewis. Number 23, Keisha Allen. Number 26, Brianna Buccini. Number 33, Patricia Charalambis. And number 51, the only goal scorer today so far, Isabella Habuda. While for Spirit, in goal, number 41, Katie Offer. And then number 3, Erin Pridmore. I think she's the captain from memory. Number 7, Kaya Buchanan. Number 11, Ella Abdul-Masi. Number 12, Erin Tavares. Number 13, Morgan Roberts. Number 15, Savannah Murray. Number 16, Kayla Osborne. Number 17, Ella Buchanan. Number 18, Natalie Kasher. And number 23, Claire Holder. Out wide, Abdul-Masi. It's getting darker. We'll try my best with these plays on the far side of the field, and Abdul-Masi has put enough pressure on to win a Spirit's first corner of the evening. Yes, floodlights in full effect. It is definitely evening here at the Arctic Circle. Here's the delivery, and that's too big for everyone. Over Pridmore, and Ravens, the Ravens faithful, of whom there are quite a few here this evening, can breathe a sigh of relief. By the way, and actually, let's see. Murray gets the deflection right. Now it'll be a throw-in. Well, ooh, yeah. Should be well advised not to throw to Ella Buchanan because Ravens saw that coming and we were already pressing. Now it gets to Buchanan. To Kasher. Kasher. Roberts, yeah, and they double up. Yep, the Ravens very well aware of Roberts' threat, doubling up as quickly as possible on the Spirit's top scorer for 2024. Now it was Tavares, stopped from turning by Keisha Allen, who'd stepped out from the back and timed it very nicely. Kai Buchanan, closed down by Charalambis. Now Buchanan resuming a battle with Tanaka. She's won that particular duel, and now, well, she's almost split the difference between two of her teammates. Nice touch from Abdul-Masi, keeping it alive. Rides a tackle, goes from distance, and it's safe hands from Paragira. By the way, just while I was on that thought, as I mentioned, Manly United were top of the table going to this round. There's some interesting thing I saw on their socials during the week, actually, as that looks to be overhit. Paragira gathers again. Manly United, not just top of the table in women's first grade, also top in the women's reserve grade, under 18s, under 15s, and under 14s. So it's nice of whoever does their socials to point that out, because it's good to celebrate your successes. In fact, actually, it made me curious. I was looking at their scores, and the last time Manly United dropped points in any division was the 7th of April, when they drew in under 18s against Football New South Wales Institute. So the club is certainly flying high at the moment. Anyway, back to this game. Ella Buchanan. Now Kasher. Kasher will switch the point of attack to Murray, who, I mean, got on the NPL New South Wales socials a couple of weeks ago with a very spectacular long-range strike when Spirit beat Bulls by 2-1. She hasn't really gotten anywhere near the goal, at least not yet, to test her long-range shooting ability against the Ravens. Now, Annie Halls. Now, there's open player on the far side. That's Brewis. Now, Habuda. Decent cross. Pridmore off the thigh before Ella Buchanan clears it to safety. Anyway, thank you for that kind young spectator to my right, shouting out "Go Lara," helping me with the player identification. As I mentioned, the Ravens being recently promoted, or Lara Brewis, one of those players, was with the club for a long time in League One, now getting her NPL chance as the cross into the middle. Kasha, half clearance. Now there's the strike, and Shalakian just got underneath it. It was a great turn. She read the flight of the ball better than her opponent. Bounced over both of them, and a quick strike goes over. So looking at the stats, of course, I mean, still early going, so the stats mean, well, they don't necessarily mean that much after 8 out of 26 rounds, but I did notice Spirit have been kind of what you might call them first half goal specialists, scored 80% of their goals in the first half of games so far, so if they are to keep that up, they better hurry. It must be noted, they've only scored 2 goals in the second half so far this season, but those 2 goals were when they were here 2 weeks ago to beat Bulls FC Academy 2-1. So have I just contradicted myself? Who can say? Back to Offer. Now, the 2 Buchanans release Kasha. Gets the shouts from Roberts, and now that should be Paragiris here. And great, as they think goalkeeping coaches call it, great starting position. And it ended up being very easy for the Ravens shot stopper. Now, there's the ball. Now, Habuda, and, oh, again across the face of goal. Cheryl Ambers keeps it alive. Could have gone anywhere. Cheryl Ambers delivers. And back defending, I think that's, not sure, it might be Tavares, who really, well, the defenders needed a bit of a hand. And Tavares was the one defending at the near post as she dropped back from midfield. Back to Offer, and Offer has found the central option, Tavares. Now Kasha. And now Kai Buchanan. Briefly there was Tanaka trying to break it up for Ravens. Murray. Now Osborne. Now Kai Buchanan to Murray. Ravens very organised in terms of short passes through the middle. Hasn't been much for Spirit so far this evening. So they'll try something wide with Roberts. And Claire Holder. Now overhits it for Kasha, and that, oh well, that's, I always get a bit worried when the ball heads towards someone at that height from point blank range, but didn't hit Kasha in the face, thankfully. Roberts up against 2, and there's Kimberly Davey up against a player she knows very well, and Morgan Roberts, and she shepherds it out for a goal kick. And Bacchini heads it straight into the Ravens dugout. But Kasha, when in doubt, throw it down the line. She gained 10 meters. She tries again, and now strong tackle from Chalakian. Charalambis. It's blocked by Kasha. Well, at the time when people think about their halftime team talks, will something happen to change the team talks before Rowan Fisher blows for halftime? Buchanan turns away briefly from Halls, looking to get the backspin on it so Roberts can catch up to the ball. Davies out from the center to defend. So now Roberts needs options and gets Buchanan back to Kasha. Now Kaya Buchanan. And there's Habuda trying to defend from the front for Ravens. Kaya Buchanan outnumbered. Now, of course, can Ravens break before Spirit gets set? Here's Tanaka, and looking for Lara Brewis, but she wouldn't blame her if she's a little bit out of puff at the moment because Lara Brewis has made a lot of good runs, both attackingly and defensively in this game. And thankfully for her, halftime is approaching. Abdulmasi dropping deep. And now that'll be Tanaka. Chalakian. And couldn't find the turn as Kai Buchanan stepped out immediately. Oh, Claudia Chalakian. I believe this one's testing the memory banks. I believe she has also played for Spirit back when they were called Koalas. That's a very long time ago. In fact, that might be before this league was called NPL, so that's how long ago it was. Anyway, Abdulmasi. Now Osborne. And Osborne forced backwards because Davey stepped out from the back. It's like the Ravens have this 3 central defender system. And it's strong there, but because you got those 3 central defenders, it's important that the 3 of them know when one of them should push up into midfield to provide pressure. And of course, because you've got 3 central defenders, there's less likely to be a hole if one of your central defenders steps up, as opposed to if you have 2 central defenders in a back 4. Now, Ella Buchanan. Speaking of back 3s, he was part of, did a very good job in Spirit's back 3 that they used last season. Now Morgan Robertson will catch up to that, and of course, Ella Buchanan showing her versatility by playing in central midfield today. And also, as if she wasn't versatile enough, she played, I think, left midfield for the Wanderers after she earned that contract and started playing games for them in A-League Women. So, Ella Buchanan is slowly ticking off the positions. Who knows, she might play up front some point later this season. And Ella Buchanan, also very good at futsal, by the way, as is her Spirit teammate Claire Holder. So, during the summer, those two helped Mountain Magic Futsal Club to the New South Wales Futsal Premier League Open Women's Championship. Both key players for Mountain Magic. In fact, Claire Holder won the Player of the Year award as well. Now, Chalakian. Charalambis, there's the run of Halls. Also Bacchini. Bacchini's got a bit of a job on to chase it, so she'll keep it alive. Now Halls, she's run forward. So Kasha, enough of a header. And Spirit get it away. Yep. Of course, no 4th official in this comp. We'll have to guess how much time added on there is. And Tanaka, nice flick on. Habuda chases. It's a tight angle. Katie Offer closes the angle down. Corner kick. How about the ball and the very clever flick on from Keiko Tanaka. Well-placed flick-ons can cause havoc. Nearly happened there for the Ravens. Habuda's eyes must have lit up when she saw Tanaka get that touch on the ball. Now, something different. I think that's Charalambis taking the corner kick. And Tanaka is the short option. Everyone except Roberts is back for Spirit. Now, it's drilled in, and Spirit header, but more sideways than forwards. That's a more emphatic touch, and that is also the end of the first half, as signaled by the referee, Rowan Fisher. It's a case of so far so good for Gladesville Ravens. They lead by a goal to nil as the teams head into the dressing sheds, courtesy of Isabella Habuda's 6th goal of the season. A very neat finish with the outside of her boot after being set up by Paddy Charalambis. Well, this is Eric Subihana on the mic for the Football New South Wales YouTube page. We will take a short break, about 10 minutes or so, then we'll be back for the second half of this derby in the NPL Women's New South Wales competition. See you soon. Welcome back to the second half of Football New South Wales coverage of the NPL Women's New South Wales competition for the 2024 season. The derby in Macquarie Park has so far gone the way of the Ravens. Ravens leading 1-0 by 1-0 at halftime over Northwest Sydney Spirit, thanks to a goal from Isabel Habuda, her 6th of the season. I actually have been able to fire up the laptop, get the hotspot working, and check the other streams to see what's happening around the ground, so we'll do that in a little bit. But anyway, there's the whistle from Rowan Fisher. The second half is underway, and the scoreboard isn't on just yet, so I'm hoping, because that is actually quite convenient for everyone, whether spectators here in the Arctic Circle or on the stream as well. But I have got my stopwatch out also working. Oh, there we go. So, and the time's correct, so no harm done there as it's played into the fence. I wonder if, of course, if now that the majority of Ravens supporters are to the right of our filming position, that is also the direction that Ravens are attacking in the second half, will that give the Ravens a push to double their lead? Osborne, and actually allowed to dribble outside of her own box. Kind of moderately surprised given the way Ravens have played that they didn't kind of press a bit more aggressively. But anyway, there's Abdul Masi doing well to hold off Dachko. Now, Ella Buchanan getting the touch of Brewis. And now Spirit can step up. By the way, just think, might as well go through the starting lineups. I don't think there's been any subs at halftime, but for the Ravens in goal, number 22, Ramina Paragira. They've got 3 central defenders, number 3, Annie Dachko, number 6, the captain, Kimberly Davey, and number 23, Keisha Allen. 4 in midfield. On the left, number 26, Brianna Buccini, or left wing back, so to speak. On the right, number 18, Lara Brewis. 2 in central midfield, number 5, Keiko Tanika, and number 8, Annie Halls. And 3 up front, it is number 51, Isabella Habuda, and of course, I suppose playing just a little bit behind her, number 17, Claudia Chalakian, and number 33, Patricia Charalambus. While for the Ravens, sorry, for Spirit, in goal, number 41, Katie Offer. They're back for left back, number 15, Savannah Murray. Right back, number 18, Natalie Kasha. Central defenders, I'll just hold that thought. This could be a chance for Chalakian. And it's well tipped over by Katie Offer. The 2 former Sydney FC teammates involved in the first real action, or the first big action of the second half. Chalakian with a very well-timed scream to let her teammate know she was open. The shot was nice, and the save from Offer equally as nice. I'll take you through that. I'll remind you of that Spirit lineup in a moment, as I see long-time Spirit Club person Joe Ryan just walking near our technical area. Shout out to, I like Joe. She's a big fan of my commentary, for some reason. Cheryl Ambus, there's the signal. And right into the mixer, but that's the header. And we'll go back to Cheryl Ambus. She stayed on side, and just the technique wasn't quite as good as when she struck that volley from an awkward height in the first half that drew a good save from Offer. Now Halls. Brewis. She's the open player. Chalakian is pulled out to the far side. Kasha, the one-on-one defender, as Chalakian cuts in. That's a dummy, could have been interesting. Spirit weren't fooled by it. And now Abdul Masi is back to settle things. And now just does that very nicely. Rolls past Cheryl Ambus, but no. Bit of a commentator's curse here. Tanika intercepts. Now Cheryl Ambus, 2 in the middle. Decent cross, and it could be a second. Offers in the way. Good positioning from the Spirit shot stopper. Nearly 2-0. I think that was Chalakian. Her run in from the far post. And she's shaken off the defense. And Chalakian nearly scoring a second for the Ravens. Now the deflection breaks Osborne's way. And Osborne, well, she almost lost it, but didn't give up on the cause. Now Ella Buchanan. And now Morgan Roberts. She's fast, but not fast enough to get to it ahead of Davey. And now Dachko. Clean in the tackle, but as our avian friend, I was just watching that, just landed on the pitch. And a bird nearly zoomed past our scaffolding. But it's not there for too long. It's Murray. Murray didn't get the clearance right. And now Cheryl Ambus cutting inside. Couldn't pick out the run of Annie Halls. Abdelmasi cutting inside. Tavares. Now Roberts. Roberts, I think, should look over the shoulder to see if the overlapping run was coming. It wasn't, so backwards to Kasha. Roberts again. Kai Buchanan steps past Chalakian. Now Osborne looking for the first-time pass. That will just spin towards Paragira. By the way, that Spirit lineup in goal, number 41, Katie Offer. Got 4 at the back. Left back, number 15, Savannah Murray. Right back, number 18, Natalie Kasha. In central defence, number 17, Kai Buchanan. And number 3, Erin Pridmore. Still haven't got it out of the way, but here's Abdelmasi. She slides, he lunges. And she's also given away the free kick for a foul on Paragira. So while I think the Ravens keeper might need a bit of a check, you might see the physio coming on in a moment. The rest of that Spirit lineup, 3 in midfield. The deepest of them, number 17, Ella Buchanan, just ahead of her, number 16, Kayla Osborne, and number 12, Erin Tavares, and the 3 up front, number 23, Claire Holder at centre forward, as the Raisin physio does indeed come on. And on the left, number 11, Ella Abdelmasi, and on the right, number 13, Morgan Roberts. And just again, because as Abdelmasi is the first Spirit player into Rowan Fisher's notebook, so I will just note that down, because it's good to keep track of that, obviously, as media. In fact, well, of course, so I hope at least good news that Paragira is sitting up, but yes, of course, you can't continue without a goalkeeper, so she ain't going to lead the field. Of course, there was a booking, so she doesn't need to lead the field anyway, even though the physios come on. And I think, yep, she'll get up soon, I'm pretty sure. Just a little check. And yeah, we will start with a Ravens free kick. Just confirming that, Ella Abdelmasi into the notebook. And back underway, so there we go. And in fact, I think just off frame, Claudia Chalakian had to finish her drink. I think she was getting some instructions from the Ravens technical area as well, of course. Yeah, stoppages are like that, kind of like an impromptu timeout, a chance for coaches to give observations of what they've seen. I think Isabella Habuda, who I've just noticed has Edwards on the back of her jersey, so apologies to Mr. Edwards, but in the interest of consistency, we'll call her Habuda for the rest of this game. Might have to add something to keep an eye on for the next game. Just a lesson for all of you there. Dribble isn't always correct, especially if someone got married after they got registered. Well, actually, technically, if someone got married after they got mapped in dribble, but that's a technicality. And then, well, I think Charles Lambers wouldn't have caught up to that anyway. The flag was up from the assistant on the near side, Alexandra Mackay. That's minor detail. It's a goal kick to Spirit. Another League One women's score update. So, as the Costantini revolution continues to get underway at Blacktown City, of course, a reference to longtime coach in the second division and in this division as well. Lots of experience. Matthew Costantini, the new Blacktown City women's technical director. They've had a 0-0 draw with Marconi Stallions at Landon Stadium. So it's baby steps for the Costantini revolution as it comes in, and Osborne is chasing it. Couldn't keep it in play. Also, and thanks to Justin Davies for that, and for another score update. Actually, no. I'll see how the play is going before I do that one. But actually, what I'll do, because of the apologies again for the technical difficulties, so you may have not been able to hear me when I was reading out the lineup. So there's 2 sets of substitutions. Of course, we're close to the hour mark, the time when coaches traditionally like to make subs. So for the Ravens, backup keeper is Eliza Coleman. The other options, Eleanor Lidbetter, Renee Pountney, Jess Wooten, Ellie Howard, and Cora Villa. While for Spirit, The 6 players that Tony Candy can choose from: Victoria Martin, Matilda Gilbert, Sienna Hawkins, Darrell Avery, Charlotte Finity, and Ruby Sullivan. There's a lot of good chat coming out of the club about Ruby Sullivan. So young, still only 14, but in Ruby, Spirit think they found a real gem as part of their youth setup. I think there was an article this week about her on the NPL New South Wales socials. Dashko just overcooks that one. And that is going to be a goal kick. So shout out to, I think that's it. That's shout out to Spirit physio Shannon Codd, the man who's got the best beard in Australian sport, playing it back to the keeper so we can get on with it. Shout out to Lockie, big supporter of NPL Women's New South Wales. He's tuning in. Great call in the message. Does Habuda actually want to use her married name, or are Ravens just saving money by giving her the old jersey for Siobhan Edwards, who played for Ravens last year? That's a very good call. Rate that so much. Thanks for your support at Football New South Wales YouTube page, Lockie. As that, I think, was Halls. Oh, no, apologies. That was Habuda, the hold-up work, ending up with the corner. So, we should just note that last year for Ravens, Siobhan Edwards, I believe, wore 36, so that's actually not the case, just in case anyone took that seriously. Anyway, outswinging corner coming up. So Ravens, by my very manual tally, 4th corner of the evening. Lovely evening it is too here at the Arctic Circle. And now Chalakian's free, she heads it down, and can it be finished from close range? It can, and Ravens have doubled their advantage. I think that's Habuda again. Proper goal poaching work. And it's delighted noises from the Ravens fans to our right, because she was positioned perfectly to get that header from Chalakian. It is Isabel Habuda. She now has 7 for the season, and it's proving to be very lucky for the Ravens. They're looking great as we head to the hour mark here in the Arctic Circle. Ravens 2, Spirit 0. Now, Spirit, the only thing to do is to try and fight back. There's this saying in these parts: strange things happen in the Arctic Circle, especially when it's nighttime. And you've seen a lot of late goals in both women's and men's here over the past few years. Ravens know, and in fact, there's shouts of encouragement, shouts to stay focused coming from the Ravens technical area. They know this one's far from done. We've still got more than half an hour to play. Now the high press, could it work out? Ella Buchanan has to lunge and find Murray. Yes, I do love this position here as, yes, because we're just, behind, not, we're more over the technical areas, if anything. We all know this, we'll see the subs coming before they happen, and I can keep an eye on that while today's camera operator, Hannah, by the way, doing a great job, Hannah. She keeps an eye on the action. So I can see, I reckon College Matilda's legend Renee Pountney is going to be the first player off the bench for Gladesville Ravens. Renee Pountney By the way, if you don't know what a college Matilda is, it's the term coined for an Australian woman who plays college soccer in the United States. But Renee Pountney, formerly of Emerging Jets, also spent time at Creighton University in the United States. Now she's back in Australia and back in our beloved NPL Women's New South Wales competition. Now Chalakian and Habuda on a hat-trick, of course. And while Habuda, as she tricked away past the challenge, keeps it in play. Now, there's runners coming. But before she could play the pass, Spirit have broken it up. By the way, apologies again to Mr. Edwards, but staying neutral, of course. If Habuda scores again, it's a Habuda Hattie, so at least the way I've called this game will lead to some kind of alliteration. If that happens, of course. Now, of course, coaches generally don't want teams to sit back with the lead because it just invites pressure. But speaking of, might be pressure coming here with Morgan Roberts. The runners are arriving in the middle. That's a great tackle. I mean, they'll concede a corner, but I'm not sure what that was. I think possibly Keisha Allen, but she blocked that cross brilliantly. Second Spirit corner of the evening coming up as Renee Pountney below us continues to receive instructions. And there's the delivery, and Palagira thought about coming, then stayed on the line. Murray couldn't repeat her heroics of 2 weeks ago. That goes over. That has been sent into the fence. Now, Ella Buchanan to Osborne. Now Murray. Abdelmasi, Osborne running beyond. Abdelmasi cuts inside. She'd gotten away from Brewis, but the second defender was Tanaka. Block the shot. We'll never know what will have happened. Corner coming up. So this will be an in-swinger. Now the runners come in. It's towards the far post. Palagira, I think, got two hands on it. She does enough. Corner kick. Another corner kick. And by my very unofficial corner tally, it evens it at 4 apiece. But that is, like many things I say, best taken with a grain of salt. As Claire Holder trots over to the other side. We've got Murray, Pridmore, two tall players at the back post. There's Morgan in that area as well. She's got a good goal sense. Osborne runs near, but this goes towards the center. Roberts is the closest to it, and Palagira will fall on the ball. It's a big kick towards Chalakian, who think perhaps had expected a shorter option, and Chalakian will not catch up to that. The way, and in fact, let's avoid that tangent, because we're going to see the sub, the bibs off, and Renee Pountney is going to get about half an hour and a chance to add to a single goal for the season. She replaces Patty Charalambous, who's done well, set up the opening goal for the Ravens. Yes, I've been impressed by Charalambous' movement to find pockets of space with which to threaten the Spirit defense. But Charalambous gets an early mark. She's really replaced by Renee Pountney, and I think should be playing as one of those two attackers that are playing just off Habuda. So it looks to be a straight swap, at least for now. Back to Kasha. Now, as Ravens are encouraged to step up, Well, they should step up now because they have the ball. Chalakin turns away from the pressure, I think, from Tavares. Now, Davy didn't like what was in front of her, just goes backwards. And, of course, in this game situation, Paragira will be completely unrushed a lot of the time when she gets those back passes. And then that was, actually, good aerial challenge from Murray there. In fact, now it's going to be a stoppage, and I think apologies, not able see who that is, but we're going to have a stoppage in play as a Ravens player receives treatment. I think it's Lara Brewis, and not looking best pleased. She's able to get to her feet at least, so that's one good sign. We'll keep an eye on that. Of course, Ravens have only used one sub, so they can use as many as 4 more, and I think they've got another 2 substitution windows. By the way, that is Ravens physio Jared Dodds. See, interesting one. The 2 physios for today both have a Blacktown City connection. Jared Dodds has played for Blacktown City, and Shannon Codd for the Spirit physio. Very famous, was the physio at Blacktown City for a long time before moving on to this role at Spirit. And Jared Dodds, by the way, also quite a decent player from my memory. Part of an NPL 2 New South Wales Men's Championship winning side with Hills United back in 2019. Now, Murray tried to drop it over the top, nearly successful. Good header from Allen. First time cross, and that only gets as far as Tanaka. Now, Habuda trying to play target forward it. Couldn't find one of the on-rushing teammates. Here's Osborne, and now Ella Buchanan. Roberts trying to shake off Bacchini. Easier said than done. Bacchini's had a good game out there on the left-hand side of that Ravens formation. Now Kai Buchanan. See, that's why you press. That's why centre forwards make those tireless runs. Habuda didn't get the ball, but her pressure forced Kai Buchanan to go backwards, and that's what's allowed the rest of the team to step up. Now, we got the perfect view to see Kasha kept that in play. Murray. Now Pridmore has she gotten the touch, and ruled touch off Spirit. So Ravens throw. Has there been a bit of a switch as well? Actually, yes. I can see Spirit. Looks like Ella Buchanan now at right back. So it's double Buchanan on the right side of that Spirit back 4. So Natalie Cash has moved into a central midfield. As Tony Candy switches things up. Oh, that was nicely done by Allen. With the little back heel. The ball was behind her, but she was still able to stop Roberts racing through on goal. Very important, that intervention for Allen, although because very few people can catch more than Roberts once she gets past them. Here's Ella Buchanan. Roberts in support, but there's a lot of Ravens in the area. A lot of black and white jerseys for Spirit to deal with. Kasha cutting inside, and Kasha almost got through, just the heavy touch at the end, and Paragira, I think she's an experienced goalkeeper, as I mentioned. She's been in this league for a long time, also with Spirit when they were known as Koalas. Also has international caps with Chile. Ravens grateful, especially when they were in the 2nd tier and Romina Paragira was playing for them in League 1 Women's. So must be so grateful to have such an experienced goalkeeper between the sticks for them. As now it's the Ravens attack we should focus on. Poutney's first real involvement is a cross, which wins a corner kick. And it would certainly be a nice time to score if you're Gladesville Ravens. It would add a little bit of breathing room here. They already lead by 2-0. If you've missed that, any of the action, of course, you can go back on the Football New South Wales YouTube stream and watch it, but Ravens leading by 2-0, a double from Isabella Habuda, taking her to 7 for the season. Tanaka, right-footed corner this time. And it's decent, there's the header, and it's in! It's in, and the Ravens leading by 3-0. Tanaka's corner right on the money. And it is looking very nice for Gladesville Ravens. 3 goals, looking like 3 points. Keiko Tanaka, another brilliant corner. The downward header, just like how you teach the kids. 3-0. Yes. Yeah, well done to Keisha Allen, who rose highest. Got past the defence. Out-jumped the defence, so to speak. And the textbook downward header leads to a goal. And the famous chant, "Free from Desire," used, well, made famous by Northern Ireland international Will Grigg when he had a great season at Wigan. The Wigan fans popularised this. It gained even more popularity at the Men's Euro 2016 in the summer when Northern Ireland filled stadiums and sung that song. And we get to hear it because Gladesville Ravens, as we head into the final 20 minutes, looking good for the 3 points. Now, as Pavagira insisted in her shots to get it away. And the Ravens do just that with Pountney. And now Hall's back to Chalakian, who finds herself in a kind of almost as a defender for a brief moment. Oh, actually, ironically enough, that's the kind of ball that Claudia Chalakian would love chasing. Spirit see it, the ball over the line for a goal kick. Kasha going backwards to Kaya Buchanan. Now, well, this is not where Spirit want the ball, but in Gladesville, this, as you'd expect, of course, as players begin to tire, but also with the game situation, possibly pressing a little bit less aggressively, but they're definitely not sitting deep. There's definitely not parking the bus by any means, as off it goes long. Holder can't get the flick. So it's Davey playing it forward. That's a decent first touch from Kasha. By the way, apologies, meant to go around the ground, so might have a sneaky look at the YouTube streams while I can. Now that flags up against Morgan Roberts. Looking up ahead to next fixtures for these two clubs, the Ravens. On their next game in 7 days' time, they're up to Cromer Park to face high-flying Amanda United. That's a 5 p.m. kickoff. After that, they're back here at the Arctic Circle to face Blacktown Spartans on the 12th of May, Sunday 19th of May. They travel to Petermore Field to play Sydney Olympic, and they finish the first half of the season by hosting Emerging Jets here at the Arctic Circle. While for Spirit, their next game, they're back here as the home team this time on Saturday the 4th of May to host Apia Leichhardt, although, of course, keep an eye on that one if you're interested in that, because news coming out today that the A-League Women's Grand Final between Melbourne City and Sydney FC will be played at 4:15 p.m. on Saturday the 4th of May. There is potential for that Spirit Apia game to be moved, so keep an eye out on the Football New South Wales competitions page, the usual socials, if there are any changes in that one. But for now, Spirit are playing Apia 3 p.m. Saturday 4th of May here at the Arctic Circle. After that, for Spirit, Sunday 12th of May, they've got the long trip to Lake Macquarie for a game against the Emerging Jets. Then on Saturday the 18th of May, they host Illawarra Stingrays here. And then they finish the first half of the season on Sunday, the 26th of May. It's a rare Sunday night women's game at home for Spirit. Sunday, 26th of May, 7 p.m. Northwest Sydney Spirit versus Football New South Wales Institute. Now, double sub coming up. Ruby Sullivan is going to replace Savannah Murray. Sienna Hawkins is the other player getting ready to come on. So Ruby Sullivan, she's been a fullback whenever I've seen Spirit this season. So that's normally on the right side of defense, but I think she'll looks to at least be on the left back. And yes, the commentator's worst nightmare, a player leaving the field at the far side. That'll teach me for not remembering the rule. But anyway, Sienna Hawkins is on and straight into the mixer for this set piece. Now, Abdul Masi. Marcy gets past Brewis and is fouled. So if Spirit have any aspiring set piece takers, this is what they've been waiting for. And everyone has left it to Claire Holder, who was millimeters away from scoring a goal in the first half with a very long-range free kick. This one's a bit closer. Marina Paragira has put 4 in the wall, and Holder hits it straight into one of those 4 players. Ravens charge out. Here's Buchanan to the far side. Pridmore finding herself in midfield for the time being. And there's Dachko. She thought she won it cleanly. Rowan Fisher agrees. Now, is that Habuda? Nice pass. And Pountney's made something of it against the new player Sullivan. Pountney charges direct for goal. And now she's up against 2 players. Sullivan plays it behind. Corner kick. By the way, there is a score coming in from the Hunter Valley. It's Emerging Jets 2, Manly United 3, and the Queens from the Northern Beaches stay top of the table for another week at least. I love going around the grounds on these YouTube streams. Actually, good energy there. Of course, that's why you bring players off the bench. Pountney had the fresh legs, although admittedly so did Sullivan. She was zippy enough to get into the box and win this corner kick. Tanaka. She set up a goal with the last corner kick. How's this one? It's towards Offer, and Offer under pressure hasn't caught it cleanly, but she gets the rebound before anyone can hold on to it. Also, by the way, shout out to my contacts. Credit to those Manly United goal scorers in that 3-2 win over the Jets. Well done to Tegan Biasi, Sian Bozanic, and Gemma Woolley. So, Gemma Woolley scoring a goal. That's just what the doctor ordered for the team from the Northern Beaches. And as I said, they stay top of the table. Gemma Woolley, a former Ravens player, by the way, and actually scored about 30 goals in Ravens promotion season from League One Women's in 2022. So she's perhaps have found some form just in time to play her old club next week, Sunday, the 5th of May, when Manly United host Ravens at Cromer Park. Now, looking at the streams, firstly I'll just double check that this is live. No, it's not. Okay, dying stages at Petermore Field, Sydney Olympic 3, Blacktown Spartans 1. What you might call the Greek-inspired name derby, Olympic versus Spartans. Now, Brewis, I'm looking for a player, and Pridmore was the strongest in that aerial challenge. Now, it's Hawkins looking to make something of it. Still going at Linwood Park. There's also no score bug, which is very unfortunate, so I can't give a live update. No graphic, that's bad for me. Anyway, here's the cross coming into the middle. Bacchini, more good defending. Second ball comes in. It's one for Abdul Masi to chase. She won't catch up to that one. By the way, before I forget, so I like talking about the streams and giving a shout out to the other commentators. Last night, League One Women's, normally I'll hold that thought because we're going to see a sub. We're going to see Darrell Avery, number 43, is going to come on and get about a bit over 10 minutes. She replaces, is that Tavares? Yeah, I see a 12 on the shorts. Darrell Avery replaces Erin Tavares. Now Sullivan with the throw. Now, well, Buchanan might have overrun it. Now Habuda, time to put the foot to the floor. Options either side as the gold jerseys try to get back as quick as they can. Here's Pountney, one-on-one with Sullivan. Cuts inside. Pountney might have room for the shot. She goes for goal, and Arthur tumbles to her right, saves it. Now, well, Chalakian is all undone well. Won a free kick. Aaron Pridmore goes into the notebook. Now, set piece coming up. It's up and it's over. Too high that time. Now, Ravens want to make a change. Coravia, number 27, will be on. And it's Chalakian. No goal, but a very good game from the Armenian international. She gets a well-deserved round of applause. And more good times for Chalakian, I think. During the recent international window, who helped Armenia win their first game in a long time in women's international football. So, well done to Claudia and to everyone there. Touch off Pountney. Yes. No, apologies. Touch off Sullivan. And that's left, throwing it left for Dachko. Either way, as Dachko, maybe it almost looked like it slipped out of her hands. That's an unfortunate one. But yes, it's a bit cold. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a bit of moisture on the ball. And as Osborne plays it out. Habuda. That's won by Buchanan, although, yep, she's been pinged late, and actually the ref, I think he's had enough. The physicality. Habuda, 2 goals and now a yellow card. By the way, no, actually, double sub, so it's going to be Jess Wooden and Ellie Howard. Actually, I think Ellie Howard used to play for Spirit as well, if memory serves me correctly. So Howard coming on for Brewis, who, of course, went down with a little bit of a knock earlier, so perhaps that's just precautionary. And Jess Wooden, well, we'll see. No Habuda Hattie tonight, but Isabella Habuda with 2 goals, certainly the hero for the Ravens as we head into the dying stages. That looks to be a straight swap. Habuda replaced up front for Ravens by Jess Wooden. They've made 4 out of the 5 allotted subs. I think, if I've counted correctly, Ravens have also used all the sub windows. Now, there's a chase going on, and Davey gets there ahead of Hawkins. Abdelmasi now on this side. She appears to have swapped, and she's also not gotten back off side in time. So very straightforward decision for the assistant over on that scoreboard side, Mason Griffith. Now that is going to run over. By the way, thanks one more time to Justin Davies, League One Women's score updates. Oh yeah, by the way, should probably complete the story because League One Women's stream game was last night down at Ian McLennan Oval, and South Coast Flames showed they had the steal required for victory, defeating Bankstown City by a 0-0. And also, good job done there on the commentary by Christos Mavropastakas. But also back to that latest Justin Davies update. It was earlier today in League One Women's, and the PNFC 0, Hills United 7. So the women of the Hills staying top of the table in the second division. Another great job done by them, and of course that's also a 6th clean sheet in 9 games for the woman they call the clean sheet queen, Hills United goalkeeper and captain Sarah Easthope. So both leagues, both women's comps in New South Wales being led by teams named United. Well done to everyone at Manly and Hills. That's played out into the fence. Now, Davey. And now as the Ravens step out, but it's a foul committed. It's always an awkward set-piece position, very central, but far out from goal. So it would take quite a shot to beat Romina Paragira, who's almost kept another clean sheet. But actually, sure it wasn't closer in than that. Yeah, Claire Holder has a good strike on her, as we saw during the futsal season. And actually she's done well with a couple of penalties this year for Spirit as well. Looks to be a direct shot. Oh, well, I'm wrong. Don't listen to me. That's the direct shot, and it's off target. Now, coming with, of course, as we look ahead, shout out to my contacts. Of course, that's not just league action for women's teams in football New South Wales now. There's also the Sapphire Cup, the knockout competition, in its second season. Long overdue for the women's teams in football New South Wales to have a knockout competition, so the women's counterpart to the Waratah Cup for men. And the draw for the third round, when the NPL teams enter, that I've been told that'll be held on Tuesday, so that'll be released Tuesday or Wednesday. And then these two clubs, as Abdelmasi tries to use her body, these two clubs will see who they face in what I think, as there's a shot blocked well by Dachko, I think. Ravens and Spirit can find out who they face in what I don't like hyperbole, but I think the Sapphire Cup is the greatest knockout cup competition in the world. Ravens made the semi-finals last year before they were defeated by Northern Tigers, and this is testing the memory. I think Spirit made the quarterfinals. They were knocked out by a Central Coast Mariners from League One Women's. Yes, not the League One Women's side, the Academy side, not the A-League Women's side, just to clarify. As the cross comes in, and Paraguera jumped just to make sure. That's gone wide. So now Primore, I think she's trying to find Sullivan. The ball just runs over the sideline. Howard flings it. And there we go. Again, when in doubt, throw it down the line. Ellie Howard gaining 15 metres just like that. Now, is she going to go direct? We've seen some good long throws from Brianna Bacchini. Does Ellie Howard have a bit of Megan Campbell in her? kind of, to the edge of the box before it's cleaned up by Ella Buchanan. They go back to Sullivan. Now Avery. Now Osborne, and there's Howard with the defending, but Osborne, the quick feet, using her futsal background to get out of a very tight space. Well done from Kayla Osborne. Shout out to all the folk at Drury Warriors Futsal Club for teaching us stuff like that as well. Oh, and the people at Spirit, of course. Now Kaya Buchanan. That's overhit. Now into stoppage time. And perhaps as Pridmore will play it forward, let's look at the next round, or the games coming up here that you can view just like the way you're watching this one at the live tab on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. So, as I said earlier, for now, Saturday, 4th of May, 3 p.m, Northwest Sydney Spirit versus RPL Leichhardt for here, the Arctic Circle. That'll be called by Annabelle Banfield, a player, actually an Interlines under-20 player, Annabelle. And, well, I won't tell you who my favorite Interlines player of all time is. Maybe Ravens know who she is anyway. But I guess they keep an eye out to see if that Spirit RP game changes as Sullivan, under pressure, but she's actually done that very coolly. Facing her own goal between the posts, found a teammate. But yes, then Sunday, 5th of May, 4:40 p.m. Actually, forget it. I might just wrap up this game first, because there's the whistle from Rowan Fisher, and it's a convincing 3-0 win for Gladesville Ravens. They've won the Macquarie Park Melee over Northwest Sydney Spirit. Isabella Habuda opened the scoring in the first half after a nice assist from Paddy Charlambus, and then Habuda made it 2-0 after the break, finishing from close range after a nice knockdown header from Claudia Chalakian. Keisha Allen scored a goal with about 20 minutes remaining, rising highest ahead of her from Keiko Tanaka, and that's how we got to the final score of Ravens 3, Spirit 0. Games coming up next week in the NPL Women's New South Wales competition on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. Saturday, 4th of May, 3 p.m, Northwest Sydney Spirit versus RPL Leichhardt, called by Annabelle Banfield. Keep an eye out to see if that changes due to the A-League Women Grand Final. But anyway, then 6 NPL women's games on Sunday, the 5th of May at 4:40 p.m. from Northbridge Oval. Bulls FC Academy versus Emerging Jets, also called by Annabelle Banfield, by the way. And then the other remaining NPL women's games are at 5 p.m. on the 5th of May. Manly United versus Gladesville Ravens from Cromer Park. I'll be on the mic for that one. It's at 5 p.m. Also at 5 p.m. in 7 days' time, Sydney Olympic versus Macarthur Rams, called by Ireland's own David Feeney. Then Illawarra Stingrays versus Football New South Wales Institute, called by Wollongong Sax boy Thomas Phillips. And the other games, Blacktown Spartans versus Northern Tigers. And the Battle of the Students, University of New South Wales versus Sydney University from the Village Green. Next weekend's League One Women's Match of the Round is also on the Sunday, 5th of May at 3 p.m. from the new synthetic fields at Marconi Stadium. It's Marconi Stallions versus Mount Druitt Town Rangers. That'll be called by Mel Muscat. But for now, this is Eric Subihano signing off. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for your support of the Football New South Wales YouTube page and the NPL Women's New South Wales competition. Wishing you plenty of good vibes, great coffee, sick tattoos, razzlers, and derby success for your teams. See you next time.